Patty Cake, you are back with us.
I'm back. Well, it's an honor, pleasure to be here. I have a friend that has taken your class, and she keeps telling me, "You dream so much. You need to get on with John and see what he says about your dreams." So um, I had this very vivid dream the other night, and so I just wanted to see what you thought about it. Um, so this was the 8th, and I kind of typed it out, and so I would, kind of remember the details of it. But so I was at some kind of group function, maybe a school, um, but we were like sitting in wooden church pews, and I was there with my oldest sister, Fran, who's always kind of been like a second mother to me. She was only a couple years older, but she was always, kind of looking out for us younger kids, and we had all put on the same dress, and it was very constrictive, like from the waist up, and it was like really kind of kind of made me start to panic. And so I asked her to unzip it and unhook the hook at the top, and then I kind of scooched down in my seat so that nobody could see that my back was bare. And then we were supposed to be working on some kind of assignment or a story or something like that, and I didn't get it finished, but I turned it in. And when I was talking to I don't know, she was a teacher. She um, she didn't really say anything about the fact that I didn't get it done, but I wanted her to know that the reason I didn't get it done was because I was having this panic attack, and so I'm really sorry I didn't get it finished. And then that's kind of the end of that scene. There was part of it was like looking for our dorm room, and it was just all these rooms with different beds lined up, and I was trying to find the one that we were supposed to be in, and did find it. But the scene then totally changed, and I'm in a pickup truck, and I'm sitting on the left, but I'm not driving. And we kind of go around this lake. This great big lake is to our left, and we kind of go around the lake. And then all of a sudden, we are going so fast, like down into this valley, and we're just like, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is so exhilarating and it's so fun. And there was not really a drone, but like a motorized I don't know if that's called a parasail, but like somebody riding in a parasail kind of thing above us. And I was looking at that, and then I remember thinking, man, I sure hope that there's not like a ledge or something that we can't see because we're going so fast and we wouldn't be able to stop. And then all of a sudden I was out of my body looking down at the truck that was going, and there was a drop off coming up, but the truck slowed down, and we didn't go off the edge or anything like that. Um, but then it was like we were in, and this was all kind of like grassy plain type terrain. But then we were all of a sudden in a third world country, what I would consider a third world country, like Nicaragua, which I've been on missions to Nicaragua before. And it there was someone selling like purses that were hanging on like a house, what they would consider a house, but it was usually made of like tin and cardboard and whatever they could find to make the house. And they had like this long strap, and it was maybe, that big. And um, it's like they were selling them. And then a child came over to the truck, and I had my purse, but it's like my purse in real life. And they put their hand on my wallet. And I said, "Oh, honey, that's not for anybody. That's my wallet. That's for me." And then someone said to me, "Isn't your selling your wallet worth saving a child?" And I'm like, "Well, of course it is, And so I started taking things out of the wallet that I wanted to keep that were like pictures and driver's license and credit cards and stuff. And I took out and I was taking this out like on a table, and I laid a picture down which I don't have this picture, but and it was a picture of my sister, who is she's not kind of, she is estranged from the family. She kind of
Is that the
blocked
one
it.
that was in the first scene
No,
with the
she's my
dress?
oldest sister, and then I have one a year older that she blocked everybody, doesn't want to have any contact with the family. And
Mhm.
after my mother died, she kind of, I don't know, just, so it was odd to me. So I laid this picture down, and she said, "Oh, you have the picture of my college graduation in your billfold. You kept that?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I'm really proud of you. We're all really proud of you." And I, I don't know. It was just odd that she was there. Um, I have been trying to hear God's word for me. Long story, but I just feel like I'm not hearing him like I used to hear him. And
Mhm.
in this, in one of my readings, it talked about, if you come to the altar with your offering and they remember that you have something against someone or there's some strife, first go and make amends and then come back and bring your offering. And I thought, well, maybe it's because Michelle is my sister, um, estranged. I don't really have any bad feelings toward her, but she made the decision to leave the family. So I thought, well, I'll just text her. And I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And I used to dream about her a lot. But since I sent this text, I really haven't dreamt about her until this dream. And I said, "Hope you're doing well." That's all I said. And she sent a text back and said, "Hey, no hard feelings, not mad, just don't want to have anything to do with you. Delete my number. I'm going to block your phone number." Like, okay.
So that was in the dream or in real life?
That was in real life. And so
Okay.
I thought, well, okay, maybe that wasn't it. And I think God said to me, "No, that's not who I was talking about." And I moved on since then. But
Okay.
so I guess that's kind of it in a, long story short. But I don't think, yeah, that was about it. And then the dream ended, and I don't
Okay.
know.
This dream would take probably an hour and a half
Oh,
to decode. There's
okay.
so much detail and there's four distinct different scenes. So I want to go back to the beginning,
Okay.
where you were there with your older sister. You were
Mhm.
putting on a dress. It was tight, almost like a corset.
Yeah.
And what I heard is clearly you've never been to Singapore.
No, I've been to China, but not Singapore. No.
So that's a movie line from Pirates of the Caribbean
Oh,
in the first one,
didn't see that
where
movie. Okay.
she loses her breath and falls from the cliff into the water, and Captain Jack Sparrow jumps in to save her, and they bring her up, and then he cuts off the corset because it was too tight. And the one sailor looks at him and says, "I would have never thought of that." And he goes, "Clearly, you've never been to Singapore."
Oh,
And so that's what I was reminded of with your
okay.
dress. The idea of the dress in particular is the idea of fitting into somebody else's mantle, literally trying to be in somebody else's image, and it's constricting. It's not for you. It's the idea that there was a level of uniformity in the dresses that you were all wearing, right?
Right.
And so it's kind of like a uniform, a one size fits all. Everybody has to wear the same thing, and
Mhm.
I feel like there might be a level of that, particularly in relation to people in your family, particularly your older sister.
Mm.
And I feel like one of the things that God is saying to you is wear your own clothes. In other words, be comfortable in your own skin. Not that you're not, but the idea
Mhm.
that you don't have to take on somebody else's mantle or somebody else's authority to be who God created you to be. And he wants you to be that, because if you try, or if you try to fit into a mold, that someone in authority, a lot of times parents do this, where like, used to be a doctor, used to be a lawyer, and the person wants to be an artist or a musician or
Right.
whatever. And if they try to fit into that mold of what somebody else's plan for their life is, it tends to be really restricting and constricting, and to the point that it literally takes the oxygen or takes their breath away. They don't have the freedom even to feel like they can breathe. And so I feel like the first part of that dream is what God is saying is, I want you to step out from feeling like you have to be encapsulated into something that somebody else would put on you for the sake of unity or uniformity or whatever.
Okay.
Does that resonate?
Not really.
No?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of facets of this dream. The second part of the dream, you were in a pickup truck, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And tell me that part again.
I was at a pickup truck. I was sitting on the left side of the truck, but I wasn't driving. Like maybe it was overseas or something. But and then we went down this hill, and I just remember holding on, kind of like there was no front windshield, and I
Mm-hmm.
was just like, "This is so awesome! This is so great!" And we were going so super fast, and we went down this valley and kind of, just kind of all over the place, but it was all plains. It wasn't. There were no trees, so to speak, but. And then I remember thinking, man, I hope there's not like a hidden, like we come up over this hill and it drops off, that we would be in danger.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a motorized flying with a sail above us and I just remember noticing it and thinking, oh, that's cool. While we're, driving down this valley um, and then I'm above the truck looking down, and I see that there is a drop off, but the truck has slowed down and is not going to go over the drop off.
Okay. So you were on the left side, but you weren't driving.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel like you were in a foreign country? Were they driving the wrong side?
Well, we weren't on a road. We
Okay.
were in this this plain that was very hilly, not
Mm-hmm.
mountains necessarily, but this great big wide open space that we went down into and up the other side. It was grassy. The ending part was like we were in a foreign country, but where I
Mm-hmm.
pictured that we were, they don't drive on the left side; they drive on the right.
Okay. Yeah, this is interesting because to me, this is the idea of you're on the left side, but you're not driving, which means
Mm-hmm.
there's someone else has control.
Mm-hmm.
You're along for the ride. You're enjoying the ride. There's no windshield, which me, the lack of a windshield represents it's a now season. Because when you see a windshield, it's like through the looking glass or through the
Mm-hmm.
glass. The Bible says now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. It's the idea of literally looking out into what's coming in the future. It's like prophetic. It's talking future tense. You didn't have a windshield. So
No.
everything you're experiencing now. Bugs are coming in and hitting the windshield or whatever. It's going to happen immediately and in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like that's a now season. And I also feel like this is, it's kind of a continuation. It's a theme. It's the idea that even though it's fun for you in this situation, in the first part of the dream, it wasn't fun for you to
Right.
be kind of along for somebody else's ride. In this
Mm-hmm.
one, it's fun, but still, I feel like that there's a level of, the best way I can say it is control that God wants you to have for your life, where you're unfettered from other people and you're actually in the driver's seat, but
Mm-hmm.
you're not driving. And it's
Right.
probably because there weren't controls. There wasn't a steering wheel there. There was,
No.
but I feel like it's the idea of, having a level of just the excitement and the adventure. I really like, the wind in
Mm-hmm.
your hair, the up and down hills. I feel
Right.
like you're just an adventurous spirit. Like you're along for the ride. This is going to be cool. We don't want to go over the cliff,
Right.
but
Right.
at the same time, I feel like, God has an adventure like that for you. But it's one that you do in step with Him, where you
Mm-hmm.
get the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to drive and to have a level of control of where do we go, left or right or up this hill or that hill. When I was in the Navy, we pulled into Bahrain one year and we went into the desert of Oman, and we just turned right in the middle of nowhere and went over the sand dunes, and we're just, bahaan up and down these sand dunes, almost hit a camel. I mean, it was just so much fun.
Yeah.
So I kind of picture that experience while
Yeah.
you're describing your story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's
awesome. There's a
interesting.
lot of details, even with the last part of the dream, of the things that you were taking out of the wallet and somebody
Mm-hmm.
taking the wallet from you, the shortness of the strap. Um, we can't really get into everything, or it'll be like the only dream that I'll do.
Sure.
But I feel like those first two parts in particular are kind of about a theme. And a lot of times, if it doesn't resonate with you immediately, just kind of mull it over. We'll send you the clip. If you send us, help at spiritualintel.com, we'll
Okay.
send you this clip. And then a lot of times God will just speak to you about your dream and about what is being said. Also, if you don't, I don't know if you do or not, but if you don't write your dreams down, write your dreams down as soon as you wake up. So you remember every single detail as it happened.
Okay.
And I find that the clarity that I get when I do that is just absolutely amazing.
Okay. I'll try that. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and then it's like, I'm so tired. I'm just like, no, just go back to sleep.
Right. I understand.
But yeah. Okay. I'll do that.
Well, thank you, Patty Cake.
Yep. Thank
All
you.
right. Have a good
I
night.
appreciate it. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.